It's been a while since I just spoke off the cuff about video games and how other cultures are affected by entertainment. Because what we see, like in the case of Black Myth Wukong, is Game Science, which is a company that just comes out of nowhere, based in China, making a game like Black Myth Wukong. It sells millions of copies, and this is to the detriment of every video games journalist that tried to talk shit and talk down to the game, and at the detriment of it being completely blasted out of the games awards for games of the year. If in the spot was given to a game that I guess Astrobot's okay, but is it game of the year? I mean, personally, like uh, platformers were a thing at one point, but they're a thing because games lacked the ability to really become anything else at the time. I'm thinking of like Mario, Crash Bandicoot, fucking Sonic, Kirby, games that had 100 kilobytes worth of storage, and you had one cutscene in the beginning and one cutscene at the end, and the rest was just gameplay. So platform like games have evolved now to where you can have platformers to an extent, but it's kind of ran its course and no longer exists. But anyway, that's another discussion. But you have a game like Black Myth Wukong comes out, and it just is what it's supposed to be. Like it doesn't add mechanics that don't like that aren't part of the game. It's not like mechanic rich like many Western games like Assassin's Creed Shadows and Black Ops 6, I think. It doesn't add things that add nothing that is just like downtime. Like it's just constant go, 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 go. And it's not a difficult game per se. It's more Souls inspired than Souls like. But millions of people buy it, and millions of people like the game, and they make a lot of money. And making games in China, you could argue, is a hell of a lot more restrictive, especially if you're talking about Chinese mythology, because there's a culture of effectively deifying, like, I mean, the state, like deifying Chinese culture, and anything less than that is just not allowed. So you can see the restrictions these developers were under, and they still made the game, right? And it still was successful. And again, I'm of the opinion, right, that you can make whatever fucking game you want, culture appropriate whatever the fuck you want, and if the consumer likes it, they buy it, and if they don't, they don't. I mean, I give faith to the consumer, but the West doesn't think that way. The West is like, no, the West, like, I'm starting to think kids nowadays just do not deserve entertainment because they hyper analyze things. They take all their talking points from Twitter. And, like, you have a game like Black Myth Wukong, and everyone's shitting on Black Myth Wukong for things that have absolutely nothing to do with the game. Like, yeah, maybe the game science is just a bunch of goofy dudes in their mom's basement that, are edgy. But what does that have to do with the product? Well, according to the journalist, that's the only thing that matters. But according to the consumer, like, I don't fucking care. And again, you have the makers of Power World, yet another company that came out of fucking nowhere and made a game that was incredibly successful, right? And Power World isn't the best game. Black Myth Wukong isn't really like the best God given game to the industry. Like games like these were made before. It's just we were at a time where Western entertainment Every single IP was just absolutely getting obliterated. And at first we didn't know why, but now we do. Now we know it was the consultants. And the consultant grift would have worked if they actually made some decent games, right? The reason the consulting grift didn't work is because the gamer wasn't in on it. In fact, the grift was against gamers. It was against the consumer. It was against the product. It was against the IPs. People just wanted to suck money just to, from my entertainment, from my culture, right? And then look down on my gamer people and shit on them. And that's why this grift just did not work. Like, okay, it worked for a little bit. Like, they ride this, like the social things that were happening at the time for a little bit. But now people are just not like sick and tired of it. They're not a part of it. They're running away from it. Even fucking gotcha games are becoming popular because, again, people are running away from Western entertainment and they're reaching for literally anything else. And I think this is going to be the future of gaming. Games made from other countries, from other cultures. And I'm not shitting on that. Like, that should happen. But I'm absolutely shitting on the fact that America is not making good games anymore. Because I think South America, like, that has a big culture of, like, video games and gaming entertainment. And I know a couple of games were coming from there. There's one game that I cannot read the fucking name. It's like Luck was something that I put on the wish list because it looked interesting. Omega Strikers, which is imagine like I don't know. What's that game you play? Like imagine hockey, only and like only have heroes with abilities that use to hit the hockey puck in the goal. That's what that game is. And it's just simple, but it's interesting. I like it. I played a little bit. I might play it again. But, I mean, gaming has reached the point. Well, even fucking Saudi Arabia is investing into games and entertainment because. And it's a smart move for them because their whole thing is selling oil, and that's what makes them rich. But other countries are moving to other forms of energy. So if people are not buying as much oil, then their entire economy collapsed. So it makes sense they're going in entertainment as well, right? America is just shitting the bed with entertainment and just leaving their ass open for all other like cultures and entertainment, like fucking anime, right? Anime is absolutely blasting. But what the West uh, wants, for some fucking reason, is to lower all other entertainment to their standards because we have this culture of HR ladies just making rules. Like a couple of rules is fine, but an entire Bible of rules when like it goes to entertainment is not fine. And people say, "Oh, well, it's just games. No one cares. It's entertainment. Nobody cares." Yes, people do care. Like, there's entire industries of caring. That's why they're called Karens, right? They're people that care about what other people do, what other people consume in their entertainment, and they just slap rules on things. Like you have the ESRB in America, which just makes sense, right? But then you have like rules on Steam, like you're not allowed to have shocking content. Well, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, what, the bare sex scenes in Baldur's Gate 3? Some people can consider that shocking, but that's being sold. I'm not saying it shouldn't. I'm saying, what the fuck are the rules? Well, it seems to just really be up to the moderator on Steam. and I'm not shitting on Steam. It's one of the best platforms and actually has some level of, consumer protection, unlike Xbox and PlayStation. Hell, even Nintendo has a little bit of that. But sorry, got something in my goddamn throat. But it's like what the fuck? And with all these rules, like you have indie game developers that are just going to try to play it safe. Western companies are just going to play it safe, just to not grate against the rules. That some of them are nebulous as fuck and can be interpreted however way. And sometimes they're interpreted away specifically against the game. Like they tried to do this with Black Myth Wukong, right? Like they tried to use the whole social thing of, oh, there's no women in the game, but the people crying about it didn't play to chapter 3. There are absolutely women in the game on chapter 3, but the journalists, they don't play games. Like they're not gamers or people, like maybe a couple of them do, but it's clear there's no like quality control. Then they more so than not talk out their ass. So you have a situation, and again, like I said, America is just throwing rules and trying to lower all other forms of entertainment to their standard instead of competing. Like America's being lazy. They're like, no, we're not going to make a better product. We're going to lower all these other products down to our standards. And yeah, I get it. Anime's weird and probably gross and whatever. But if you have a problem with it, if you think it's degenerate, put out a better fucking product, right? Don't come to me and try to shame me, because I'll tell you to kiss my ass, right? I'm a consumer. I'm the great consumer. Give me something worth consuming. I will throw money at you. If you don't, shut the fuck up and let me consume whatever the fuck I want, right? I'm an adult. Maybe you can't do that, right? Maybe you need someone to manipulate you and tell you what you can or can't consume. I don't, right? And I think many people think the way I do, and this is probably a bad, like I guess this is just a bad thing, but I think like gamers is what won Trump the fucking presidency, because you see all these weird social shit coming into our video games. People play games to escape that shit. People watch entertainment to escape that shit. But you have theater kids that are like, no, I will come to you. I will inject it into your entertainment. And at this point, it doesn't matter what. You can think your ideology is the best on the planet, but the more you try to shove it down people's throat, the less they're going to care, because you'll just be obnoxious at that point. And again, it just galvanized a lot of people who, gamers probably don't care about politics. They just want to sit and play their fucking games, sit and turn their brains off and consume their entertainment. But they're seeing these people in their entertainment. They're like, wow, I'm going to now vote against these people out of spite. And spite is a hell of a motivator, right? It's completely illogical. You cannot. There's no line of logic or formula that can comprehend spite. It's just something that happens. It's something that once an individual has against you, you have now made an enemy you can't truly defeat. So this is why people are moving away from Western entertainment, running towards games like Black Myth Wukong, and they're probably going to run towards a bunch of other games that come out. Like, if you're in another country, like, it is probably the best time to get into entertainment and have Americans be the greatest consumers, because, us Americans, were fucking rich, right? I'll gladly put money aside for my entertainment, more than I probably should. But anyway, that's all I really gotta say about this. Just talking off the cuff. But that's all I gotta say. Peace.